I moved to the island from Vancouver over 20 years ago, and I've always been impressed with the numbers of classic cars and hot rods that you see everywhere. That's what today's show is all about, cars and motorcycles. What I really enjoyed about this project was hearing some of the stories behind the rides. Many of these owners have personal connections and family histories that create a bond between them and their machines.
Hi, I'm Richard Floyd. I'm president of the Comox Valley Classic Cruisers. As you're probably aware, we're having a little car show today. It's our 24th annual graffiti bash. Today there's about 300 cars here, and they vary from everything from hot rods to custom homemade, I don't know what they are. There's motorcycles and race cars and classic cars, of course. There's a number of those. We've got cars that go back to the early 1900s in their original condition. If you haven't been down and seen it, it's a bit of an eye-opener to a lot of people because some of these cars, there's an awful lot of work gone into them, and I will tell you that there are a few cars here that are worth several $100,000. The folks that are partaking in the event are from, gosh, they're from far and wide, obviously from Vancouver Island, and I mean all over Vancouver Island, Port McNeill all the way to Victoria. We've got, I think, practically every village and city on the island represented. Oregon, we've got some Washington State folks here, Alberta folks. There's a good mix, and I also know there's some people here from Texas, but I don't know that they have a car with them this time. I know they did last year, but they came back because they had so much fun last year. They thought they'd come again, even if they didn't drive their car all that distance.
So Doug, you own all 5 of these cars?
Yeah, the 5 you see right here I own, and I have a few more on the go. It's kind of like an addiction gone wild. Hobby gone wild, turned into an addiction.
Has your marriage survived?
Yeah, pretty much. She's right into it. She likes it.
Tell me about the Impala, Doug.
The Impala is what I call go light green, because it's pretty much the color of a go light. And it's had quite a few modifications, customization. Basically what they did in the 50s, sled style. This car was quite the fashion statement in its day, way overboard for fashion, but the person I bought it off has taken and kind of embellished some of that styling already and added to it. So,
Anything special features about the car you want to tell me about?
Special features about the car. Well, it's got a Corvette grille in it with, I think it's extra teeth over above a regular Corvette. It's got bullet headlights. It's got recessed aerials.
So these are all features, these are all modifications that were done after the fact?
Yeah, modifications. It's got a 350 automatic in it.
Okay.
You want to hear the whistle?
Yeah. So tell me about the wolf whistle, Doug.
The wolf whistle is aftermarket, and it's good for the parade. The kids love it, and the girls think it's all about them. The Edsel here is 58 Edsel. This particular model is the top-end model, the Citation, and they only made 930 of these. The Edsel, of course, was only made in 58, 59, and 60, and it came out in a very bad economy, a recessionary economy. It was up against some real winter cars GM and Chrysler had, that were a lot less money, such as the 58 Impala. Yeah, the transmission in an Edsel is, they should have called it the Problematic, which is operated by electric solenoids. And they had a way of sometimes two of them being on at once, like maybe forward and reverse. And you could be on the highway and all of a sudden it would be in forward and reverse at the same time, maybe take the transmission out. The other problem with that was they wouldn't go in a gear sometimes because the solenoid would fail. All this due to probably salt finding its way into the solenoids. Finding parts on this car is quite a challenge. It's not like a 55, 6, 7 Chev or even a Model A where you can buy just about all the parts that you could dream of. You're better off to buy a car like this restored. Otherwise, it's going to take you a lot of hours and years to find all the right parts.
My wife Shirley owns a 1952 Chevrolet. Her brother purchased it, or actually he got it for his graduation present in 1964. He converted it to Oldsmobile engine and Oldsmobile transmission, drove it for 4 years, built the headers, bought some spare new parts from GM before they shut it down, and then took the engine out, took the tranny out, parked it in a field for 35 years. I got the car early in the 2000s. It was a total mess, no floorboards, nothing. Took 5 years for the restoration. We're really pleased with it. An excellent car, and we show it in all the local car shows. We're in Courtenay, British Columbia. This is what the car looked like when it arrived in 2003. This is an original banner from a car dealership in 1952 promoting the car. This all is stainless, most of it's stainless rather than chrome on a 52 Chev. The floorboards, pretty worn out.
Well, I've had the car for about 9 years now. I've known the car its whole life, actually. It's been in Courtenay all its life. I was sold at the old Seal and Thompson Chevy dealers. And that's one reason I bought the car. I've known everybody that's owned it, and it's all stock, never been hit, touch wood. And yeah, I've enjoyed it.
So how difficult is it now to find replacement parts for a car like this? Where do you have to go?
I got a new seat covers interior for it a couple years ago in Classic Industries down in the States. That's one nice thing about this car. You can buy just about any part for it, like a lot of the trim and that.
So you've kept this all stock?
Oh yeah. This car is too nice to modify. There's no reason to modify it. Yeah, another thing about the car, it's only got 66,000 original miles right now. I think when I bought it 9 years ago, it was 56,000. So I don't put many miles on it. But it's your typical little old lady car that the original owner, she just drove it to Safeway and probably to church once a week and hardly put any miles on it. Most of these cars, it's not a super sport, it's a sport coupe. Most of these cars were daily drivers, and there's not many of them left. There's more super sports left, actually, because they were bought by car collectors and looked after a little better. But I mean, this car was a daily driver for 30 years or more.
Just short trips?
Yeah.